I was born in Ghana, West Africa. I came to Canada at the age of 4, and I remember some of my early years in Ghana. I remember being happy, being a happy kid. I remember just feeling like I fit in. If you would ask me when I was 4 years old that I was black, or said I was black, I would have said, "What's that?" The concept of race didn't make sense to me. And then I moved to Canada, and it's kind of like right away you become a minority. What is a minority, right? And the world started telling me who I was. My neighborhood. It's funny. There's a huge disparity between my neighborhood and the school I went to. Right, my neighborhood was very multicultural. You had Caribbean people, you had African people, you had Middle Eastern people, you had Latin American people, like within this neighborhood. And then the school I went to, I went to a Catholic school that was predominantly white. So when I'm in my neighborhood, I feel like I fit in. But then I go to school, the curriculum doesn't really show anybody that looks like me. And if whenever they did, it was a malnourished African kid with their bones showing, with flies all over the place, living in some type of hut. And guess what? My friends see that and they believe that that's how it is in Africa. And then they start making fun of those pictures. And I start feeling less of myself. And then on top of that, society didn't really portray people like me in a positive image, as I said before, to the point where I started having self-esteem issues. Like the girls I liked, they weren't into people that looked like me, when I was younger. And that really made me very insecure at a young age. So when I was younger, I was ashamed of my culture. So I think that this space is important for me because I grew up in an environment where I never really seen someone like myself in professional environments. I never really seen someone like myself doing positive things, making a career, impacting the lives of others from where I grew up. The way I grew up, I saw the narrative of the young black men becoming womanizers, becoming gangsters, becoming rappers, right? Becoming comedians, if anything, or athletes. Like those were the main things I saw of young black men. So I never really saw anything like super positive or anything outside of those boxes. And on top of that, my environment showed me that. Majority of the people I grew up with were into the gangs, were into drugs, were in and out of jail. The people I grew up with, majority of them aren't even alive, and if they are, they're not doing anything super productive. So as I grew in age, as I've experienced so many different things, which we could get into later on, what happened was my perspective changed. I started being in spaces where now I'm the only person that looks like me, and now there's the reverse effect happening, where I started feeling like I didn't fit in. I started having to pretend to be someone that I wasn't, just so I wouldn't be I wouldn't be judged. So it's a lot, and it becomes emotionally taxing. So I felt like if I'm experiencing these things, then there's definitely other people who were feeling the exact same emotions, and I want to be the person to help make an impact and the person to help. But as I've grown older, as I started to embrace my African heritage, I started seeing pride in it. And I always tell everybody, like, your culture is who you are. Your culture is your foundation. Like, if you don't know your culture, you really don't know who you are as a person, because that's a huge part of your living being. And at the same time, when we were able to embrace our culture and to really value and be proud of it, then we're able to share with the world, and that's our opportunity to build those bridges. That's our opportunity to create experiences for other people, through us, so that they can now learn about like our heritage and be more exposed to it, and then you create the lanes of communication. So I think we all have a responsibility to embrace our culture and share with the world. That's what I think.